Guys, and welcome back to Clearview Driving. My name is Amin and today I'm doing a mock test for Ashish.
Hi guys.
Ashish has his own YouTube channel called The Indian Driving School, which I will list here. So in today's video it will be a mock test for Ashish. Now he has been driving for quite a few years. You're an experienced driver.
8-9 years, yeah.
8-9 years, yeah. But you've never really driven in England.
No.
And you've got your test coming up in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
So he wanted to just get an instructor's point of view on what he should be doing, if there are any mistakes, anything he needs to be wary of for his test here, because driving in India is very different to driving here. So he just wanted to adapt to some of the roads here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the traffic.
Yeah, and the traffic. Okay, so throughout the drive I want you to follow the road ahead. Whenever I need you to turn, I will tell you in plenty of time. If I don't say anything, keep going straight. If you're not sure where you're going, you can ask.
Okay.
20 minutes of the drive will be independent, where I'm going to give you a series of directions to follow and maybe some road signs to follow as well. We're going to carry out one manoeuvre and we may also carry out the emergency stop. Okay?
Right.
Alright, so before we get started, I'm just going to ask you a quick question. Could you tell me, how would you check that your directional indicators are working?
If you put the indicator on inside, you will see the dash, and from the outside you have to go and check out the lights.
Okay, so you'd use the indicator?
From like left and right, from the indicators. And then
you wouldn't use the hazard lights?
No.
Yes.
Why would you use the hazard light?
Because then all your indicators
are working. Okay.
Because if so you do that, it's only one side, isn't it?
Okay. Yeah.
So it's not necessarily a fault, but it's just, it's better to do that.
Use the hazard and walk around and see if all they're working.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
you see the signals as well. Yeah.
Okay, so when you're ready, let's drive off, and we're going to move off and then turn right into that first road up there.
This right, yeah?
Yeah, the first road.
Okay.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another mock test with me, Amin. So today with Ashish's mock test, if there's any advisory faults, I'll be putting them in. Anything minor or serious, I'm going to point that across at the bottom. As he's an experienced driver, sometimes he takes a few risky gaps, but just be careful. If you're a new driver, it may be better to be a bit cautious if you're unsure. Okay, so at the end of the road, turn right. When it comes to stopping or slowing down for junctions, Ashish has a bit of a habit of using the clutch first and then pressing the brake. Now this is coasting, but provided you are braking, it's not necessarily an issue for the test. As long as you slow down and the car doesn't actually speed up, this wouldn't be counted as a fault in the test. But it's not something that you want to be doing all the time, as it does make you lose control of the vehicle and the car can speed up. In the driving test, you will be asked to pull over and park 3 to 4 times. Whenever the examiner asks you to pull over, don't pull over in the first space you see. Always look for a safe place to park. If there are no safe places, the examiner would usually say pull over and park anywhere, don't worry about the driveways. If you can pull over and park up on the left, anywhere safe. Thank you. And drive off whenever you're ready. Okay, now there's going to be 2 roundabouts. At the first one turn right, and at the next one turn left. They're very close together.
First one turn right and then left.
As you can see in the video, Ashish does have a bit of a habit of crossing over his arms on the steering wheel. Now again, this isn't something that you want to be doing as a new driver, but if you do cross your arms over on the steering wheel, it's not necessarily a fault unless you lose control of the steering whilst you do it. parked vehicles, Ashish moves over to the middle of the road in good time, making sure he's not too close on the left and also allows enough clearance for the oncoming vehicles. Ahead from here. Ahead, Ashish deals with the meeting situation really well, allowing the vehicle in front to easily pass by slowing down over to the left-hand side of the road. After the vehicle has passed in the middle of the road, Ashish starts using his mirrors towards the right and moving quite a lot towards the right-hand side. At the same time, we had a motorbike that was behind us that was also trying to move right. Had the motorbike been trying to overtake, this would have gone down as a serious fault. Turn left at the roundabout. Now at the traffic lights, turn right. Ashish deals with this right turn really well, making sure to wait in the yellow box to make the right turn. He waits for the road ahead to be clear before turning safely. Take the next road on your left, please.
This way, yeah?
Yeah, that's the one. When travelling along the middle of the road with parked vehicles on both sides, it's always a good idea to drive a little bit slower and to keep scanning both sides. As there are a lot of parked vehicles in the road, somebody may be standing in the road and you just can't see them yet. Ashish is driving within the speed limit, scanning both sides, and he's alert of anyone behind him, so this wouldn't necessarily be a fault, but it's something to be wary about. I've put an advisory fault for observation at this junction, as Ashish only looks right then left and moves out. It's always a good idea to look right, left, right at least once before you emerge out, as it's very easy for motorbikes and cyclists to be hidden behind the parked vehicles. When we get to the roundabout, turn right. And then turn right. Ashish times the approach really well, making sure to slow down and turn after the oncoming vehicle so that he doesn't have to stop on the main road.
Middle of the city. Surprising.
Yeah. He's hobbling, bless him. At the traffic lights, turn right. Ashish makes good use of mirrors and positions towards the right to get into the right-hand lane for this turn. You're allowed to cross the centre line provided you're not disturbing the traffic in front, as it's a broken white line. Ashish goes forward to make the right turn as there's space for 2 vehicles. He pulls a bit of a risky manoeuvre by turning with the oncoming vehicles, as they may try to turn into the overtaking lane, so it may be safer to wait before turning. The speed of the new road is 40 miles per hour. Ashish is driving up to 30 miles per hour and checking his mirrors to move back into the normal driving lane. He notices a vehicle on his left, so he doesn't signal. He waits for them to pass before signalling to change lanes. As he wants to be in the left-hand lane, he should have just signalled, even if the gap's not there straight away. We're going to go on the A4, we're going straight, yeah?
Last road, was it 40 miles per hour?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
In the new road, we had to switch into the right-hand lane in order to go to the direction that we were headed. In order to switch lane, Ashish maintains a really good position from the vehicle in front, making sure he's allowing himself enough clearance in case he has to stop or to switch into the right-hand lane. In the distance, we're going to be going towards Brentford. It's a right turn, so I suggest you move into the right when safe. The road just curves right, so you can see it here. Ashish is generally very aware of his surroundings as he checks his mirrors throughout. He goes around the island and the parked cars really well, making sure not to have any sudden movements on the steering wheel, but also making sure not to get too close to the parked vehicles or the islands throughout the drive. When it's safe to do so, I'd like you to demonstrate how you would wash the rear windscreen.
Rear windscreen?
Yeah.
I haven't done this car before. So.
It's okay, just whenever you can.
So that's for the front one, and that's for the dip light.
I'll tell you where it is in a second.
Usually in my guide there are 2 of them, so it's for the lights and it's for the wipers.
Yeah, no, everything's on the same one on this one.
I'm not too sure about it.
So it's just this one here, you have to twist it downwards, okay? But you have to do that while you're driving.
Twist it up?
Downwards.
Okay.
most traffic light right turns, only 2 vehicles can go into the middle to make the right turn, so always make sure there's enough space for you before you go forward. You can pull in and park up on the left along here, please. That's great, thank you. Okay, Ashish, we're now going to start the independent driving. I'm going to give you a series of directions to follow. Okay? So as we go down this road, I want you to take the first road on your right.
Right.
And then follow signs to Hammersmith.
Hammersmith. Okay.
Could you just repeat the instructions back to me?
End of this road.
Yeah.
Turn right, and then follow the road maps for Hammersmith.
Okay, if you do forget, you can ask.
Yeah.
Okay, so whenever you're ready. Drive off in your own time.
So if I'm not sure for the road which I'm taking, I can ask you, yeah?
You can ask me the directions again, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
While moving off from this position, Ashish nearly gets a serious fault for observation. He's checking his blind spot but also rolling at the same time, and the white car came out of the junction which was in his blind spot. With this right turn, Ashish gets a minor fault for response to road markings as he was waiting to turn behind the bus. He should have turned into the overtaking lane as that was available, or he should have carried on waiting under the bridge in the middle of the junction. So it's the 205 we're following now.
205, okay.
Yeah. Ashish follows his lane really well, going into the right hand lane as he enters the roundabout, and as he goes round the lane splits into two and he takes the first half, as that will now go to the 205. The right hand lane is now the new lane for going back around the way we came. As we go around this roundabout, the lane is again splitting into two branches, and we're right next to the third exit, so we need to take the first half in order to be able to exit at fourth. And then just turn left and then here. This road, turn left.
Turn left.
And if you could just pull it in park on the left anywhere along here. Thank you. And drive off whenever you're ready. Take the road on the right, please. That one just there.
Oh, this one?
Yeah. Just before the white car.
That one here?
Yeah. Don't worry about anything, just leave enough space in front to move away easily, okay?
Okay.
That's great there, thank you. Okay, Ashish, what we're going to do now is I'd like you to carry out the parallel park exercise using this white car in front. So I'd like you to start alongside the vehicle in the road, so you're going to be nice and parallel.
Yeah, okay.
And then reverse back and park within two car spaces. Try not to touch the pavement as you're doing this.
Okay.
Okay, so whenever you're ready. With parallel parking, if you don't manage to get the manoeuvre done in one go and you have to go into first gear to go forward to fix this will go down as a minor fault for control. While reversing, Ashish gets the back tyre quite close to the pavement and wanted to go forward to fix this. He should have looked around before going forward as there was a vehicle waiting, but as he wasn't close to them, this wasn't a serious fault, but it would be counted as a minor fault. Thank you. So shortly we're going to carry out the emergency stop. Okay, so I'd like you to drive normally along this road. I'll make sure that it's clear, so you'll see me looking around, and I'm going to give you a signal, which is stop. As soon as you get that signal, I'd like you to slow down and stop the car as quickly and as safely as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. I will look around. I will make sure it's safe. You don't need to worry about anyone being around you at the time. So when you get my signal, stop the car quickly.
Okay, and doesn't matter if it's like stop downs or like engine turns off as well, or shall I just
stop how you would normally? That's up to you.
Okay, that's fine then.
Okay, so wait for my
like
signal.
Just an emergency situation comes in and you have to stop in
that's
that
exactly.
scenario.
So we're trying to recreate that at the moment.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so just wait for my signal though. That's the only thing. So when you're ready, drive off from here. With the emergency stop, always make sure you wait for the signal and stop the car as quickly as you can. And then after the emergency stop, when you're asked to move off, make sure you look around over both blind spots to move off. So wait for my signal before you do the stop. Stop. That's great there, thank you. I'm not going to be asking you to do that again. So whenever you're ready, you may drive off. Turn right from here. It is very important to look around before you move off after an emergency stop, as there could very easily be somebody over in your blind spot that may move into the road, as you cannot see them in your mirrors. At the end, turn left.
That last one here.
Road, turn left, and then at the roundabout, turn right. So the two are very close together again.
So this is left, right?
Yeah, left from here, and then right at the roundabout.
That's the roundabout.
Yeah. This crossroads is slightly staggered, so the road ahead is over towards the left-hand side of the road. In order to make a right turn, it's very important you don't go across towards the right too far, as this would block the way of anyone in front from being able to go straight ahead. As Ashish went forward into the traffic light junction, he goes onto the yellow box, but then positions more towards the right. This could be an issue if anybody else ahead wanted to continue straight. Majority of the traffic in front all made a left turn into the same road, so this wasn't really blocking anyone's way, so we got fairly lucky at this traffic light. If you can turn right just in here.
Going straight, right?
Yep, straight on. On the junction ahead, Ashish gets a minor fault for junction observation as he did not check towards the right before entering at the roundabout. The roundabout does have a bit of an open approach with some railings and trees on the right hand side. It's still a good idea to look across to the right before you enter, as it's very easy to miss motorbikes and cyclists. Turn left at the roundabout just here. Along this road, Ashish deals with the meeting situations really well, as there are parked vehicles on both sides. He stops in the middle, allowing enough clearance for the cars in front to easily get around him. As the parked vehicles are on both sides at the exact same point, neither side has priority, so one side will have to give way. And take the next road on the left, just here.
Left?
Yeah, there's a small little entrance just here.
Oh, yes.
Over and park up on the left hand side of the road. Just keep going a little bit further. Just behind that van will be great.
Okay.
Yep, so just in the shade over there. Oh, okay, just go ahead of the van if you can, sorry. Parking spaces are a bit funny on this road. Just ahead of that black car will be great, okay? Thank you. That's great there, Ashish. We can secure the car and then switch off the engine. Okay, so that's the end of your test. How do you feel like you did?
I failed, I think.
Why do you think you failed?
Few things I realized, like maybe one of the speeding thing, it just comes 21, 22 sometimes, because
Okay.
even in the
I wouldn't
second
worry
gear,
about that too much.
Yeah, or one, it stalled, but it was fine as well.
Okay, so overall really good drive, but unfortunately it wouldn't be a pass on this occasion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Emergency stop was not okay. I think it would have
It's
been
to
better.
do with the emergency stop.
So,
That's
yeah.
the reason why you failed.
Yeah, I think so. It
Okay.
wasn't that great.
Okay, I know the emergency stop wasn't great, but you did stop, so that was fine. It's what you did after the emergency stop.
You didn't look back?
You didn't look around.
Yeah. I look on the just mirror.
I just saw you looking in that mirror and this one a little bit, but there's no checks. Now, it's really sad that you failed for the emergency stop, because the drive was really good.
Okay.
I know there are a few faults here and there. You were sort of doubting yourself a little bit. Okay, I want to go over some of the faults, because I was trying to get you to do loads of right turns, because there was something with right turns which I was trying to really sort of nail into them, because there was a few chances where I felt like you were about to make a mistake, and we kind of got lucky that nobody turned up on some of the encounters. So I'm going to go over those with you.
Was it like when the double lines are, I check on that one, and sometimes I think I miss on the again, like looking back.
You don't look back yet,
Yeah,
but when
so,
you're looking, you're kind of going over the line and looking, and I felt like if somebody had been on the left as you're looking right, you might have a bit more trouble.
Okay.
So make sure when you're coming over giveaway lines, as soon as you're crossing that line, before you've crossed, you should have already have looked right, left, right, at least once. You get to that line, you go right, and then you're moving left as you're doing it.
Okay.
Yeah. But besides that, there's a few things I want to go over. So moving off safety.
After this emergency stop.
No,
is it
not that one's over here. So
Okay.
moving off safety. So this was earlier. Remember when I said to you we're going to start the independent driving? Now where we were parked, there was a junction on your right just there where that white Kia came out of.
No, I don't remember.
Okay, so we were parked on the side of a road on the single yellow line.
Yeah, okay.
When I said to you move off, you got ready, you looked around, you checked your blind spot, but there's a car right there, and that car was moving as you were rolling. Now that could have very easily been a serious fault, because you're looking and moving. what if he doesn't see you and he doesn't really think of you as a concern? You shouldn't have been moving there.
Okay.
Because you're moving so slowly and the road's quite big, it wasn't a big issue. But now, had you moved off a bit faster, I would have had to brake or even tell you to stop on that point.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So it's the fact that you're moving into the road and he's moving into the road at the exact same time.
Okay.
You are looking, but you're also moving
So
as you're looking.
I didn't stop, or
You didn't stop completely.
Okay.
You were
Okay.
rolling.
Okay.
So don't roll when someone's there.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Then your appropriate speed. We were on that 40 carriageway
Yeah.
and you were driving at 29.
29.
30.
I was in the middle. Actually, I was trying to on the left.
I saw you were trying to move over.
And when I moved left, then I gained on the speed.
Yeah.
But there was just a car, so I was just
The black car, yeah.
So
No,
I
I
was just
realised.
waiting for them to pass and then move.
True.
Basically,
But
that's the only reason I was slow.
But how do they know you're trying to move left?
I put on indicator, didn't I?
Did you leave it on though?
Can't remember, but I think I put the indicator on. I was waiting for them to turn. I looked into my speed limit. It was around 30.
Yeah, you were about 30.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know you want to move left. You
Yeah.
should have left your indicator on because
Okay.
he was waiting there for a bit and then you didn't leave your indicator on and he's sort of gone through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, your speed wasn't that much of a big issue because the road wasn't for that long, and then you did realise, which is great. Junction observation just now on that roundabout that we just did that left turn. The turn for us is quite easy, and I know you can see through the railings, through the hedges a little bit, but you didn't really look right. Now, if somebody had been coming through, that would have been a bigger issue.
Is this when we turned left and there was a roundabout?
Yeah, the roundabout where we turned left just now, back there.
Okay.
Your reverse park, initially it started off very good, and then you had a control and an observation fault on that one. Control being, because you got close to the back, you had to go forward. Now you could have finished the whole thing in one go.
One go. Yeah. Okay.
Because you've had to go forward, it's now resulted in a control minor, which is okay. The observation minor.
I just went forward because I thought the rear tire might touch because it was like very close to the curb.
Yeah, no,
So that's why I just
we
went
did
forward.
actually have some space.
Okay.
But it was okay that you wanted to go forward, no problem. But
While doing it, if I want
You
to
can
be
lower the
sure,
mirror.
I can lower the mirror. Okay, that's what I was.
okay, so with the reverse park, it was great, but it's just because you've had to go forward, you still get a minor fault.
Okay.
Okay, and then your control, observation on that, I've given you a minor on that because when you went forward, you did look, but there was a car passing at the same time, but it was okay. But when you started reversing again from that point, you didn't look.
Okay.
So every time you change direction, you need to check because things have changed.
All the 6 ways. Okay.
Yeah, the stall earlier in second gear.
Was in the red light when
Yeah.
it was in the second. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it would be fine, but yeah, it's stalled on
It
that
will
one.
be fine if you
Sometimes.
accelerate and
Yeah.
hold the biting point for a little while.
Yeah. It's just about the car as well.
But
so
if you're
about the
completely
habit.
stationary,
Yeah, I would try in the first 30 minutes.
that's it. Yeah. Okay. This one here is a bit of a funny one because earlier there was a road where we had parked cars on the right. This was your first ever mistake. There was a road where there were parked cars on the right, and we're going through, and then there was a car approaching. Now there was space for both of you, but as he's approached, you moved left and slowed down, which is fine. But there was a motorbike behind us, and he's moved in behind you. But then now that the car's gone through, instead of just going straight, you've moved right, but you're checking your mirrors and moving, and the motorbike's also moving round at the same time.
Okay.
So we didn't need to move like that. Even though you're checking, it's just like, it's not necessary to move. And be mindful about checking and moving at the same time, because you're not kind of reacting to what's there. You're sort of just checking and moving. Because that motorbike, what if he tried to get round you a bit quicker there?
Okay.
Yeah? So these are some things to bear in mind. But in terms of safety, the roundabouts and all that, the right turns, you did really well. You were always trying to get into the normal driving lane, which is great. You kind of definitely knew about that one.
One thing I realized when there was entrance and I moved left, I shouldn't have moved actually. I
It
think.
was okay.
Yeah, because
I know what you were about there.
There was no any other cars, so I think that was okay as well.
True, but at the same time, that entry that you're thinking about, they have a giveaway.
Okay.
So they have to wait for
They
you.
have to
It's
wait,
not
okay.
it's not a slip road.
Not a slip road, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm glad you realised that. But on that particular one, they have a giveaway on the way down.
Okay.
So if they see you coming, they should be stopping anyways. Yeah.
All right.
But that was a tricky one for them.
Yeah.
So just now, near the end, there was a right turn at the traffic lights.
Yeah, this one. Yeah.
Yeah, and we had to wait in the middle in the yellow box, which is fine. But as you waited in the yellow box, you put yourself really close to where you want to go. But now we got
When there was the red light behind the bus, was he talking about?
it was on the right, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But when we're waiting in the middle, you can't go all the way forward because now the cars in front, if they happen to be going straight, they're having to go around you, aren't they? Now all of the cars in front, you got lucky, they were turning left. But if anybody was coming straight, they would have been a little bit pissed off because you're in their space.
In the space, yeah, okay.
So although you need to turn right, you should have just gone forward and waited, whereas you went like that.
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah?
All of them were turning left.
They turned into the same
and
road.
after that I turned as well. But if there was coming straight,
you would have had trouble there. So that could have very easily been a serious fault as well. So you've got to think about where are they going to go from. Make sure you're not in their space. Because it's all good and well us getting into a great position for ourselves, but we can't block them at the same time. Okay? But overall, you do know what you're doing. There isn't a lot to do, which is great. But it's more about safety, thinking about your side of the road, being a little bit more alert of your surroundings and not trying to get going straight away.
How about the observations while driving as well?
Yeah, generally all of that was great, So there's not much on that really, no. Just at the very beginning, I felt like, because you're an experienced driver, I felt like on the approach to the turns and the crossings and stuff, you're a little fast. So if we had somebody that's turned up and they wanted to cross, because there were a few occasions where we had pedestrians near crossings, but they didn't cross. So if they wanted to cross and then you saw them, I felt like we would have had a harsher break. Because you're not prepared enough to be able to stop. Okay? We'll work on that now though. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. So I hope you guys learned a little bit about what's involved in the practical driving test, and even as an experienced driver you may make mistakes. You've just got to really get to know the car and the road a little bit as well. Alright, is that what you expected the result to be?
Not really, but feel shame on the emergency stop thing. But
I feel bad giving you a serious fault that, but
overall was fine.
Alright, so that's the end of today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you for watching.
Thank you guys.